Hello everyone, this is Ed Hammerly once again out with my chickens here at my chicken coop. I've made a lot of videos as you've seen over the last couple years, and I decided to make another one here today because of one problem that's been occurring for me ever since we got the chickens. We've always had an automatic door opener, which again you've seen on some of my other videos, but again and again, time after time, we've had issues with it where ultimately we've lost members of the flock, and just recently we lost our entire flock. I don't advocate products that often, but when I do, it's because I really believe in them and I think they're worth mentioning, and that's absolutely the case here with the ChickenGuard. The ChickenGuard is the first chicken motor door opener that I've seen that is actually purely designed with chickens in mind. A lot of the other devices out there are other devices like drapery motors and so forth that were being used as openers but not really designed for it. So let me go through about 4 or 5 different things to explain to you why this door is so good.
So if you're not familiar already, this is basically the industry standard for your Rube Goldberg backyard urban and suburban chicken coop motor. It's known as a D20 drapery motor. It was used for the open chicken doors, and it made life a heck of a lot easier. It runs off an AC power supply that's hooked to your standard timer. Now this lacks many features of the ChickenGuard, but it has one massive flaw, and that is its inability to recognize the differences in day length as the sun continues to change across the sky during winter and summer. For instance, let's say I set my timer to close the door every evening at 8 p.m. But springtime is approaching, and the days continue to get longer and longer. Before you know it, at 8 o'clock, it's still daylight, and the chickens stay out longer. And the next thing you know, the door closes behind them, and now they're trapped. This situation occurs very slowly during the course of the year several times, and it happens in the morning and at night. And if you're not diligent to pay attention and continuously change the timer, what you see in front of you now is what happens. A similar situation can occur if the power happens to go out during the time the door needs to open or close. So beyond all the other features I'm going to get into as well, there's 2 right here that there's no other reason to go any further. And one is what you see right here, the light sensor. This system operates by light. It's hands down better than the D20 ever could be. And the other part is that it runs by battery. And they've managed to design it so it lasts a really long time. They say about a year. Yes, you probably want to change it a little bit sooner than that. But first of all, for 90% of the chicken owners who don't even have power, this is just a no-brainer. This is what you need to use because it doesn't need AC. And as a safety feature, when the batteries go low, this light here is going to light up and let you know that it's time to change the batteries. Alright, so I'm going to go over some of the key features here. I won't go into great detail, but what I will tell you, it is very obvious that whoever designed this motor and timer system knows what they're doing, has had chickens, and has really thought out a lot of the problems here. The other thing you'll notice over time is that everything is straightforward and common sense, and once you've learned it, you'll remember it. So this is how you run through the display. You hit menu, then you can either use the open button or the close button to run through the settings. You had open, exit, system test, set light levels, calibrate the door, set the time, close settings. That's basically it. So speaking of light settings, I chose my ChickenGuard location for 2 reasons. One is because it's outside the penned-in area and you can access it without stepping in chicken poop and other things. But additionally, I have it underneath the roof line so that it's protected from the weather. So having it under the roof line can give it a little more shade, plus all locations are different. This is why ChickenGuard had a great idea with being able to alter the light settings. So if you have a really dark area or a very light area, or you just want it to open and close earlier or later, you can adjust it. Very easy, very simple, very helpful. But the ChickenGuard is far smarter than that. If you want to go old school and just use it as a regular timer and set the times, you can. But you can also use this feature, which is the Lux feature. And that is, on the longest days of the year during the summer, it might actually still be light at about 9, maybe even 10, depending upon where you're located. This sort of has like a double backup. You'll still use your device, your light sensing device, to close the door just like it would, but you can set a time that says no matter what, even if the light sensor hasn't shut, it'll still close at this time. Sort of getting the birds in. They'll actually be in already, but closing the door earlier so that they're protected. This also seems simple, but it's not with many other products. If you want to open and close the door during just the routine day, when you do this with some setups, it'll actually screw up the timing system. Here, you want to open, you want to close it, it doesn't affect anything. Now, I've always had this reflective tape on my door. Hit it with a flashlight, look from an upstairs window, you can always see whether the door is open or closed. But again, with the ChickenGuard, it has its own light that blinks every 30 seconds to let you know that the door is closed at night. So one last thing I'll show you is how I actually hook the aluminum door up to the motor. And ChickenGuard recommends that you use pulley systems when applicable. So here I used a bobbin, I believe it's called, from a sewing machine kit and a stainless steel screw, and it acted as a pulley. So there you have it. Take my advice and years of experience. Don't lose countless birds to an inferior automatic door opening system. Want to learn more about chicken watering systems? How to assimilate your birds? Dealing with egg issues? A rookie's butchering experience? How to deal with a broody chicken? Or how to upgrade your chicken coop? Be sure to check out all my videos here on YouTube and contact me with any questions. Thank you.